going to... Alright, so stage one we have done. We've done the shavers, we've done the trimmer. Now take the main machine, and this should be, again like I said earlier, should be a lot closer than the small trimmer. Why? So that you can get rid of the outline after. So we're going to start off with fully open, 1 centimeter from here going all the way to the back, and no more than an inch at the back. So, and what we're doing, we want an outline, we're not trying to blend, so we want an outline. You'll see the hairs are very fine on the sides, but very dark at the back. In his case, we're not doing a hook, but the same still applies. You still do the open and you go around. So as I go to the back, you'll see the outline will be a lot darker and a lot more distinguishable. Here you can see I raised it by a whole inch. Why? Because his hair is a lot darker there. But it's unnecessary to do more than an inch. And now I'm going to get a brush. Now for this stage, there is this is stage 2, and you can break it down into 4 different parts. Now the way I simplify this is 0% in terms of fully closed, 100% open. So I'm going to be using the terms 100%, 0%, 20, 50 and 100. The main one you need to know, 0 and 20 for part 1. Part 2 is 50 and 20 again. It is rough guide, so you just have to kind of assume. 20 is just like literally slightly open from the close. So we start off with 20, and I call this opening the fade. And every time you open a fade, you have to follow it up with closing the fade. So 20 is the first thing. And what you want to do, you want to go from the bottom line up to the middle line. You want to flick it up to the middle line. Really follow along the mold of the head. You'll see as I do this, the bottom line will still not vanish, and that is what's expected. And I'm going up to halfway line. Now as I go back around the head, fully close it to 0. Why? Because this is called closing the fade. And now I'm going to go on that same bottom bit, and I'm going to keep touching it up. And it may not go from the first flick, so you have to go over it a couple of times. And you just lightly flick, so you're blending onto where you went earlier at the halfway line. Here you can see it's naturally sort of faded because the hairs are very fine here. And I don't want to risk it. I might open it just slightly and blend. You have to be very cautious around this area. So that was part 1 of this stage 2 section, yeah? Now the next part, so it was how we did it, 20% open the fade and we closed the fade with fully closed. Now part 2, we're going to take 50%. So if you fully open it, and generally you just close it a little bit, about 50 or higher basically, take that, then you go fully to the top. Well, not literally to the top, but you're flicking up to the top. So you're flicking up to the top, and this is opening the fade. And here you'll see you're basically done. You won't really need to go close the fade. But as you get to the back, there's a lot more of a lot more hair to work with. You'll see a lot of different shades. So again, 50% all the way to the top, but I close it back to what? To 20%, because that's the line below 50%. Now I'm going to work on the bottom half. And now I'm just playing around with the trigger. This is just extra work, just playing around any dark hairs, because not every section will be the same shade by just using a certain percentage. So you just have to play around with the hair. So now you can really see the difference between stage 1 that was completed and then followed on to stage 2 now completed. That's it.